when corporate greed and mismanagement took over the water system. We are not going to let that happen again here in Des Moines or anywhere else in America. It's because the giant hog corporations, the giant beef monopolies, blanketing their fields with fertilizers they know are destined to end up in our water. They are poisoning our kids on purpose. Are you ready to stop them? I'm ready to fight this greed. I know you are too. I'm ready, you're ready, and we all know that Bernie Sanders is ready. Just the other day, Bernie said he'll break up the meatpacking cartels that are destroying this state. The cartels that are poisoning the water we all drink and shattering the way of life family farmers and small-town shop owners have known for centuries. We know that we have the candidate that's going to put an end to all of this. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to join him? Are you ready to have his back? Let's take this movement of the people to the halls of power and corporate greed. Look around you. I want everybody to look to their left, look to their right, look to behind you, look in front of you. These are your brothers and sisters in this struggle. You are all part of the most grassroots movement in the history of American politics. You are all part of the most energetic movement in the history of American politics. And look around, this is what we know we can say. We are all part of the most diverse movement in the history of American politics. And we are part of the movement that is going to win and take back the White House next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amr. Now we're introducing Jesse Ware with the White Fight for 15. Please welcome Jesse Ware.
First I'd like to say thank you. My name is Jesse Ware. I'm a 33-year-old man, and I work for McDonald's. It's a struggle making only $9 an hour. No raise, no sick days, no health coverage or health care.
Come on.
Because I have congestive heart failure and I receive Medicaid and SSI is the only way that I can pay for my medication or pay my bills. Just last month, I had a stroke, and I have to take time off to recover. Without SSI, I won't have a roof over my head or be able to afford my medication. And it's not just low pay that has me worried and down, it's disrespect for management and understaffing and harassment. I had to choose between keeping my job and making doctor's appointments.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
This summer, I missed an appointment to get my pacemaker put in. I didn't have a doctor's note, and they didn't have a cook to cover my shift. They told me if I didn't come in, I was going to lose my job. 2 months later, I still don't have my pacemaker, and it's making me very upset. It shouldn't be like this. I work for one of the richest companies in the world. McDonald's make billions each year. They can afford to give workers 15 in the union.
Yeah! 15 in the union!
Corporations have a lot of power, so we have to fight power with power. When we join together in a union, we have a voice of power and numbers that McDonald's can't ignore.
Yeah.
When workers come together, we help fix big problems like low pay, sexual harassment, or violence at workplace. We need a true seat at the table with McDonald's in every workplace.
Yeah, that ain't right.
And we are calling on every candidate and politician to stand with us and support our demand for 15 in the union. We need 15 in the union to put an end to corporate greed. We need the right to join together in a union to put power back into our hands of workers. I'm fighting for all of us who struggles, the farmers, the teachers, the fast food workers, and all like me. We are all in this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Up next, we have Miss Patty. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Y'all, we got to march. We got to get marching. We got the senator coming, too. So up next, let's keep this energy moving. Thank you, Jesse. We have Miss Patty, a farmer from Churton, Iowa.
What a beautiful day in Iowa. I am a farmer, growing organic crops with my husband near Churdan, and I'm a board member of Family Farm Defenders. Corporations have mastered the art of extracting wealth by obtaining human labor and raw materials like oil and corn as cheaply as possible, resulting in staggeringly huge wealth inequality and environmental degradation. Make no mistake, corporate greed is global, pervasive, and without limits. Corporations see our anger. In defense, they are leapfrogging ahead to ensure government policies that allow their complete dominance over our agriculture system, climate change solutions, and of the labor force. Working, right. They are working at all levels in all venues, from the United Nations to the public narrative here in Iowa, to push their own agenda of false solutions to the multiple crises we now face. Corporate greed. Corporate greed means farmers around the world are being pushed off the land. It means neoliberal free market policies that have devastated farmers with low prices for decades, allowing for that cheap grain to feed the corporate-owned hogs in confinements here in Iowa that pollute our air and water. It even means technology that could one day replace farmers completely. Democratic decision-making is essential for a just transition to new rules, for a new economy of parity pricing for farmers, living wages for workers, and community-controlled energy. The comprehensive plans that Bernie has put forth are vital to democracy and to our future. Bernie Sanders is the only candidate for president who has the courage, the lifetime commitment, and the leadership so we, the people, can take back the power and end corporate greed.
He's coming. But before we hear from the senator, up next we have Mr. Robert Morrison from Burlington, Iowa.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? My name is Bob Morrison. I live in Burlington, Iowa. I was a machinist for over 31 years until Siemens shut our factory down. They shipped 125 union jobs out of Iowa. Mine was one of them. 4 days before Christmas last year, on December 21st, I punched off for the last time. I was proud to work at the oldest continuously operating factory west of the Mississippi River. When Siemens gave up on Burlington, they gave up on 150 years of history. Do you know why? Siemens executives knew they could hoard more money if they moved our jobs to the Czech Republic, India, and a non-union plant in North Carolina. Siemens paid their CEO nearly $9 million last year. We were abandoned and betrayed, not just by Siemens. President Trump, Governor Reynolds, and Senators Grassley and Ernst all refused to stand up for us. Trump even gave Siemens $765 million in lucrative federal contracts while they offshored 1,700 jobs. But one politician does stand up for us, Bernie Sanders. I support Bernie because he has a plan to punish greedy corporations like Siemens. Bernie is the only candidate I trust to deliver because he has been consistent for the past 40 years. And because he knows he can't do it alone. He needs us and we need each other right now. Tonight we get to see what that looks like. So to Siemens and all the other greedy corporations like them, I say, American workers are tired of being kicked in the stomach. We're mad as hell. We're not taking it anymore. End corporate greed now.
And now, the person you have all been waiting for. Help us welcome Senator Bernie Sanders.
Whoa! It is nice to have some Vermont weather here. All right, thank you all, hearty souls, for coming out tonight. And I want to once again introduce to you the next First Lady of the United States of America. All right, in a few minutes, we're going to get warm because we're going to take a little walk. We're going to take a walk for justice. For economic justice. For racial justice. For social justice. And for environmental justice. And without listing the names of all those who have already spoken, thank you guys very, very much for your remarks. Look, we are honest with the American people. And what we are saying tonight and have said and will say throughout this campaign is we have two fundamental purposes. Number one, we will defeat the most dangerous president in the history of this country. The people of Iowa, the people of Vermont, the people of America are sick and tired of a president who is a pathological liar and who is running the most corrupt administration in the history of America. The people of our country are sick and tired of the racism, the sexism, the homophobia, the xenophobia, and the religious bigotry which is coming out of the White House. We are sick and tired of a president who believes that he is above the law and above the Constitution. And in a very short while, that president will and should be impeached. But our job, and our campaign understands something else. That as important as it is to defeat Trump, we must do more, and that is we must transform this country and create an economy and a government that works for all of us, not just the 1%. And we understand that at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, it is no longer acceptable for big money interest to buy elections. We don't need a super PAC because we raise our funds from the working class of this country. And it is the working class of this country that we support. And when we talk about transforming this country, we understand that health care is a human right, not a privilege. And that is why, whether the drug companies and the insurance companies like it or not, we will pass a Medicare for all single-payer program. No more premiums. No more co-payments. No more out-of-pocket expenses. Health care is a human right, not a privilege. And under our plan, the overwhelming majority of the American people will save substantial amounts of money on health care. And we will not have a system based on the greed and profiteering of the insurance companies and the drug companies. Our campaign understands that we must end starvation wages in Iowa and in America. I have talked to too many workers in this great state who tell me they cannot make it. And of course they can't make it $9, $10 an hour. We're going to raise that minimum wage to a living wage at least $15 an hour. We're going to provide equal pay for equal work. Women do not deserve 80 cents on the dollar. They deserve the whole damn dollar. And by the way, we're going to grow the trade union movement in America. Any worker who wants to join a union will be able to join that union. 4 years ago, we talked about making public colleges and universities tuition-free. 4 years ago, that appeared to be a radical idea. Ain't so radical anymore. All over this country, states and cities are making public colleges and universities tuition-free, and we are going to do that in every state in this country. And by the way, 11 years ago, we bailed out the crooks on Wall Street. Well, now we're going to ask them to pay a modest tax on Wall Street speculation so that we can cancel all student debt in America. Brothers and sisters, despite what our genius, self-described genius, stable genius. Despite what our stable genius president believes, climate change is not a hoax. What scientists believe, and by the way, we will be an administration, as radical as this idea may seem, we will be an administration that believes in science. And what the scientists are telling us is that not just that climate change is real, caused by human activity, and already, as you all know, causing devastating harm in Iowa, Vermont, all over America, all over the world. What they tell us is that unless we act boldly and aggressively and take on the greed and corruption of the fossil fuel industry, the planet we will be leaving our kids and future generations will be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. We will not allow that to happen. And I am very proud to tell you, and I know you all support it, that we have introduced the most comprehensive climate change proposal ever offered by any candidate for federal office. And I am doubly proud to tell you that next weekend, coming here to your great state of Iowa, I'm going to be joining Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for a series of rallies focusing on the need to pass a Green New Deal. The Green New Deal and our proposal will create up to 20 million good-paying jobs as we transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. And when we talk about transforming our country, all of us understand that we will end the broken and racist criminal justice system that currently exists. And among many other things, I am proud to tell you that our administration will end the destructive war on drugs. We will legalize marijuana. And we will undo the convictions, expunge the convictions of those arrested for possession of marijuana. And our administration will also end the demonization of the immigrant community in this country. We will pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path toward citizenship. And we will have a humane border policy that does not snatch babies from the arms of their mothers. And our administration believes that it is women who have the right to control their own bodies, not politicians. And we will never nominate anyone to the Supreme Court who is not 100% pro Roe v. Wade. And lastly, as some of you may have heard this evening, that Beto O'Rourke has withdrawn from the campaign. And I want to thank Beto, who is a friend, not only for running a principled campaign, but for understanding that we must end the horrific level of gun violence in America. Our administration will not be intimidated by the NRA. We will pass the gun safety legislation that the American people want. Brothers and sisters, Nelson Mandela reminded us that everything is impossible until it happens. Everything is impossible. It can't happen. You can't have a vision for a different America. You can't take on the corporate elite. You can't have health care for all. It's all impossible until it happens. And together, brothers and sisters, we are going to make it happen. Thank you all very much.